Pride Month is upon us, and gamers prepare for the bombardment of propaganda to rain down from the gaming industry. Whoa! No. Close one. Not today. But it didn't happen. At least not to the scale that we expect. All that preparation, defenses built, month-long breaks from gaming gone to waste. They didn't do it. Nope. Very few in the gaming industry, actually even outside of the gaming industry, did anything. No pride flag profile changes, no tweets about it, no new micros. They didn't do it. All because gamers have been rejecting it for years and the industry finally listens. Let's talk about it. A whole month for gay pride is crazy, by the way. America doesn't even celebrate their independence for a month. My American brothers, I have a question. What is freedom like? No, it's just a question. Anyway, gamers claim victory. Progress has been made. There were a few. Halo dropped some new skins you can get for logging in. Free skins just for logging in. How many players out there are just not going to log in this month just so they don't have this in their collection? Oh, when they locked the replies. Why would you do that? That's weird. Warframe went all in with a full-on celebration. I don't play Warframe, but by the looks of it, they be celebrating this all year round, so I wouldn't be too surprised. Bungie also joined the cause, dropped a free shader for you to download on Destiny. I mean, if you expected anything different from Bungie, you haven't been paying attention. Gearbox also joined in, changed their profile picture. There were a few others as well. Nothing from Xbox, Bethesda nothing, Blizzard nothing. Nope, nothing. A lot of the big players didn't do anything. They've abandoned the LGBT community after all that virtue signaling. Even Ubisoft, after whatever the f*** AC Shadows was. Even they haven't come out with a virtue signal. It is early in the month and a lot of these companies can and will do something for Pride, especially after getting copious amounts of hate from the tolerant left after not designing something just for them. Look, I've got a revelation here. Might shock you. Sit down. They never cared. I know, shocking. They do this to virtue signal. A little bit of pandering to get their engagement up, usually to sell them something that appeals to their ideology. That is usually how this goes. But you see, now companies have seen the backlash. Is the virtue signaling worth it? Sure. A very small audience out there actually wants this stuff, but a lot of players are going to be pissed off and you might just lose those players. They've waited up and appealing to the modern audience isn't making them the profits that the activists told them that it would. And now, they don't care. And when I say they, I mean the investors. The top brass! The ones making the decisions. Because as we know, the studios themselves are full of activists. Full of people who bought into that ideology. The massive less than 5% of the population that is in all media. So oppressed. Look, there is the possibility of things slowly coming out as the month goes on. Maybe even while I'm making this video. And that's exactly what happened. A lot of the companies have now done some sort of virtue signal for Pride. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. They could have at least waited for me to finish editing my video, though. It looks like they just didn't want to do it too fast. Make it look like we're not completely obsessed with it, you know? We know where these companies stand when it comes to this, so don't be too surprised. Blizzard didn't even do Pride, they just did the trans colours. I think we're huffing copium believing these companies had the balls to not do anything. There are still some that haven't done anything yet, but I believe they will fully bend the knee at some point this month. I don't get why they think these companies actually stand with them. I think it is highly likely that we see that over the next few days and weeks. Oh, these companies will do something. Whether it's having a gay games category, which they probably already have. I know Disney do things like that on Disney Plus, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's on Game Pass. I would not be surprised at all. Now let's talk about the question. It's a sensitive topic, and if I know YouTube, the algorithm is going to send this video out to people who are knee-deep in that ideology, who just love to click on thumbnails and titles that upset them for whatever reason. So I'm guessing there'll be some upset people out there watching this right now. But let me just clarify a few things. I do not care about your sexuality. I do not care what you identify as. I am quite a busy person and I have a lot of things to think about. And what a grown adult who I don't know and will never know does with their life won't even crack the top 500. Probably 1,000 that I think about on a daily basis. I don't care. You can call me heartless. I have been called a robot based on how I behave in social situations. I am a socially awkward person, if you couldn't tell. I won't speak for everyone, but I think a lot of people out there are just like me and they don't care. Do what you want, love who you want, good for you. But I don't care. My problem is when demands are made to change our society, our culture, to conform to a now radical ideology. That's my problem. My problem is with this flag and what it represents. It's not about having the freedom to express your sexuality. It's about imposing a set of beliefs onto everyone else. An ideology where if you disagree with just one thing, you are a homophobe, transphobe, hell, all of the phobes. Because how dare you disagree. Take J.K. Rowling, for example. Huge left-wing personality. Except she thinks women's spaces should be for women. Not trans women, women. That has made her public enemy number one. They hate her. 2025 and women are still fighting for their rights from men. Just not straight white men this time. We're losing our touch, boys. 600 women have lost 890 medals to transgender competitors across 400 competitions in 29 different sports. That is actually an insane amount. In some cases, women are just flat out refusing to compete because of the disadvantage they are at. I mean, damn, I don't blame them with the combat sports. Jesus. Now, another thing is men are getting catfished. And if you don't want to date a trans person, then you are a transphobe.
If you're cis and you won't date trans folks, you're a transphobe.
In a lot of cases, they aren't even telling their dates that they're trans. I'll be completely honest here, that is predatory behavior. You should always let someone know the machinery that they could potentially be dealing with. This video went viral a few weeks ago of a trans person asking straight men why they wouldn't want to date them. He said that he could do everything a woman can. Everything. Right? Everything? Everything? Being able to have kids? Right, no, they can't. I mean, there's videos out there of trans people getting mad because their date found out they were trans and just left. Bro, why are you not disclosing that information beforehand? That's important information to tell someone. What do you think's gonna happen when you get all the way to the bedroom? Brrr. Head in the game, baby. Let's go. 26 seconds. That's the time to beat. 26 seconds. We can do this. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the... Why is it bigger than mine? Oh man, no. Well, I don't want to be a bigot, do I? Seriously though, what would be the protocol? Do you pretend it's not there because they see themselves as women? Is the identified male expected to engage with the unexpected elephant trunk in the room? But if he does, that would make him gay because that's male machinery right there. Or does it not count because of reasons? You know, like when it's for the boys. Doesn't count. What? Everyone knows that. It doesn't count when it's for the boys. Doesn't. Yes, we're at a point where not wanting to date a trans person now makes you a bigot. And it's not just straight men getting this shit. The lesbians are getting it too.
We're human beings, not sex organs, cis lesbians. I'm talking to you.
Shut up, bitch!
They're turning on their allies, bro. It has become an ideology that is nothing but harmful to their movement. The issue that most people have, the biggest issue, is the kids. Giving kids puberty blockers. Kids do not have the ability to consent to something like that. They don't. They can't drink, they can't drive. Some of them still have to sit in a booster seat when they get in a car because they're still not tall enough yet. Giving kids irreversible, life-changing treatment based on how that kid feels at the time is wrong. A kid does not understand the consequences to that, and it's beyond f***ed up.
They diagnosed me with gender dysphoria, and I believed their bullshit for about 17 years. I have multiple health conditions from transitioning young and for transitioning for so long. And when you don't appropriately diagnose people, you lead them into a life of ruin. All of these interventions are permanent, they're irreversible, and they lied to me.
And the doctors doing this should have their medical license stripped from them. And along with this, you got LGBT propaganda going on in schools with parents rioting outside. The damage is done to this movement. And if I'm a gay man, I'm making sure that I stay well away from this movement. People want nothing to do with this flag. They want nothing to do with the ideology that it is pushing, and they most definitely do not want it around their children. So when we see a game studio or publisher come out supporting this movement, we might be a little annoyed. You see, gaming is something we're passionate about. It's something we have to give ourselves a break from the stresses of life. When we load up, I don't know, Destiny, and we're greeted with this free shader that represents the LGBT movement, to me this game is now associated with that movement. A movement that wants to give puberty blockers to kids. You're just pissing off players. You're losing players. For what? A virtue signal to people who will never play your game? Changing characters to appease this movement, changing entire IPs to appease this movement has done nothing but backfire completely. And not just in gaming, by the way. I think a lot of those people went out and voted, and I don't think they voted blue. I do think that gamers are now following politics closely. Asmongold's success is proof of that. Players don't want this, and the gaming industry is finally realizing this. Make no mistake, the people working within the gaming industry, a lot of them are into this ideology. They want to push it, and they will. And they will call you a bigot for pushing back against it. Actually, they're doing worse than that now. Cancel culture is on a comeback, and some people are unfortunately getting cancelled, or suffering attempts to cancel them because they dared to push back against this. If any of those people are somehow watching this, then I wish you luck. Supporting all of this is only going to get you more backlash, because the worst thing you can do with a gamer is try and tell them what to do. Game says go this way. we're gonna go that way. Tell me to believe in this ideology or I'm a bigot. I'm gonna tell you to go f*** yourself and drink my cup of tea while I do it. Go f*** yourself. So gamers have rejected this whole movement in the gaming industry. But you see, the games industry has put itself in an awkward position because it's filled with activists who want to push this ideology more than Vince McMahon pushed Roman Reigns. There are journalists who they've cozied up to that expect them to push this. Come on, it's June. Come on. Where's the rainbow? Then there's the people who matter most, the customers, the gaming community, who just want you to stop pushing any political agenda. Stop it. Just make your game and shut the f*** up. The only things game studios and game devs should be posting on their social media platforms is the games they're working on. No political agendas. There is a lot of talk about how the woke era is over and times are changing. I want to believe that, but I'm not so sure. I think they're just a little bit quieter about it. Just because some of these companies aren't posting rainbow flags doesn't mean they're waking up. I'm not trusting them. Have these companies realized that virtue signaling to the woke mob just isn't making them any money? Maybe? Is this a sign of the turning tide? I'd like to think so. I'm going to need to see more before I believe these companies are changing for the better. But it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And while I don't buy that Ubisoft care about Men's Mental Health Month, I do. I care about the audience that we've grown here, and 95% of you are men. Take care of yourselves. I've had friends struggle. Life's not always kind. Make sure you look after this, boys. Nothing's more important than your mental. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I can only recommend what works for me. When things are getting tough and the stress of life is getting too much, just take a little time, hop on your favorite game, tune out the outside world, relax. And for me, I come back to those problems with a fresh mind and I figure them out. I mean, for me, it's just figuring out how to navigate the outside world. Ugh. People. Ugh. But seriously though, look after yourselves because I always want to see you in the next one.